am down, oh my soul so weary. When troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome viewers to our program Addicted. My name is Paul McClatchy. We want to welcome all you viewers, all you families, all you recovering addicts who have called upon the show and talk about and wish us well and wish the show continued success. You know, we really are very grateful for your support over the years. Today we have two very distinct gentlemen in the studio with us. We have Rashid and we have Lester, two recovering addicts who are joining us today to share their hope and experience of how life was while they were using drugs and some of the benefits they have experienced now that they're clean and sober. So I want to welcome you guys to the program Addicted.
Thank you, Paul, and a very pleasant good night to all viewers.
Great. Now, seeing you guys here clean and sober, you know, some people don't believe that an addict could stay clean or could stay stop, as we like to use the term, you know. Some people go into treatment and then one shot, they're able to stay clean. They're able to stick with the program and do well. And on the other hand, there are people who struggle a lot, go through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges, a lot of relapses, and then, by God's grace, they work in it and they're making it. So today we're going to talk about that because I know what I'm saying is no stranger to you two guys in terms of struggling to stay clean and now finally living the life of a recovering addict. So let's start with you, Rashid. How it was for you in the early days when you were struggling to stay clean and was unable to stay stop and were trying all different type of methods. You went into treatment and came out. How was that like looking back on life today? How that was for you?
Paul, it is said that those who seem to forget are doomed to repeat. And when I look back at the pain, the suffering, the deprivation, the misery, and all the negative traits that goes along with addiction, but most of all the struggle, boy. That struggle that I experienced, that I had was to endure, lasted for close to 14 years.
How long?
14 years.
14.
14 years.
So 14 years you made an attempt to stay clean and be in recovery?
Yes, I was almost every year I was admitted to a rehab center. I never thought I could have stayed clean. I never thought, I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. There was no hope. I thought I would have died using drugs, you know. I never had a desire. It is like our literature says that they meaning the drug addict, the using addicts, they can be analyzed, counseled, reasoned with, prayed over, threatened, beaten, or locked up. They would not stop using until they have a desire. It's something within. So we come to the point of how a man using drug could reach to a point of desire. I was thinking about that. So I never had a desire.
Right.
To believe it or not, I believe it was total divine intervention.
Okay. some
But
higher force, some the higher power, gods intervene and help.
I firmly believe my mother's prayers was answered.
Okay,
Because my mother, she was a praying woman, boy.
all right.
And she walked that road with me. I want to live with my father, but he was not visible like my mother.
Right.
He would always encourage and he would, he would want to know what's going on and things. But my mother is the one who walked that road with me. She was an old woman and she was frail. But she had a tower strength.
Right.
Her faith was extraordinary.
Right.
Her effort was limitless. I mean, when everybody, I don't think I could ever get a better mother than that. By the time I went rehab 13 times.
13.
Yeah,
Right.
in that 14-year period.
Right. And 14 years you went to rehab 13 times.
Yes.
Now, people on the outside will look at this and say, this thing ain't working.
Yeah.
He's a waste of time.
Of course. When I came out of the rehab, the last time I went, and we will talk about that later on in the show. When I came out of that rehab, and I was going somewhere, right? I was going to a place to do something very secret.
Yeah.
I hear a gentleman in Karen say, 1,000,000 to 1, you can't make it. If I had $1, I wouldn't have bet, because I'd lose.
Yeah.
But also I felt,
Yeah.
that is why I showed them, you see. Even members of my family never thought I could ask. You have to ask them that.
Yeah. But because you showed them over the years that you not willing to stay stop based on your behavior.
I couldn't stop. I reached a point where it was like living to use and using to live.
And in this 14 times, is it 14 or 13?
13 times.
13 times going to treatment for 14 years. You have seen other recovering addicts go into the treatment center and was able to stay clean.
Of course, it has some addicts will go once,
Yeah.
according to what you said before. They will go once and they will catch it.
Right.
They will start to stay clean and find this new way of life. But I couldn't, there were times I used to be walking the streets in Karen and a car would just pull up and 3-4 guys would just grab me, come onto the car, hold me. And all they would say is, "Who see send for you?" And they would carry me straight to the rehab. Boy.
Right.
They would put me in a room all by myself. Boy, Paul, sometimes I used to say, boy, why I have to go through all this? Boy, better I die. You understand? And to
Yeah.
go through all this. Look what happened. Look, as the years go by, I lose almost everything I had.
Right. And as you're losing stuff, you still continue to use.
Yes.
And you're saying that the desire, there wasn't the desire. But let me go to Lester. Lester, we're talking about desire, and Rashid now mentioned that he did not have a desire.
Yeah.
Was that your similar experience?
Oh, well, my journey was a little different. By the way, it's very coincidental that I live in the same village with Rashid.
Yeah.
And I was able to see the life that Rashid was living. But that had no difference to my journey. My journey came over me sort of, like a ghost. It was just a surprise change in my life. It happened subtly, and it took over my life. I went down a path that just couldn't get a grip on it. It just kept sliding further down to destruction, And
At what age you started to use?
well, I got introduced to the hard drugs at the age of 30.
30?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You say hard drugs meaning that you were
Cocaine,
using
cocaine.
other stuff before 30?
Oh yeah, like everyone else in
Yeah.
Trinidad. Trinidad is such a environment of drinking and partying.
Right. So you're drinking early on?
Yeah, I started off drinking from the age of 17. Once I had finished with coming out of a strict family,
Yeah.
coming out of school, not being too successful, at what was a strong family culture, being very, doing very well in school. And so I went down the path of, running with the wolves, drinking, partying, and girls and all that.
Free
sort of
spirit.
stuff. Yeah, free spirit, happy, and and this led to me experimenting and being open to, and then I went out to foreign and I lived and, was doing very well, whatever I put my mind to. But on a trip back to Trinidad, I got introduced to a much older person, got introduced, blindsided sort of, matters not. It could have happened in any form because I was open to trying, to just living free, not worried about, not cautious of, problems that could come about over your life with drug usage. And then the thing about the drug is that whereas you would never think where it could go, but it picked up a life of its own, and it just eroded my life to the point where I became an embarrassment to my family, an embarrassment to myself. Most painful part is I was trapped, unable to break out of it.
When you mean trapped, you became addicted to the drugs heavily?
For me, what I've come to understand is becoming, the addiction was more of an excuse, to medicate myself for other problems in life.
Okay.
Is what I've come to understand. This was my discovery.
But at that time when he was going through that, he wasn't aware that was taking place?
No, it was very subtle. It was, the drug usage just became an easy way to escape, to escape things that were troubling me, that, I never confronted.
Right.
And it's very easy and caught up in busy working, struggling to make a living. As life in America, you have to keep a roof over your head,
right.
So with that,
so how long you used for?
Well, I used up until about 2 years ago.
In terms of for the duration of your using drugs, when you look back over the years, how many years you used for, including marijuana, alcohol, and cocaine?
Wow, that would be about 30 years of my life.
30, wow.
Yeah, to be very honest.
Right.
One of the things I've come to understand is to be very forthcoming.
Right.
To deal with one of my breakthroughs came when I was able to confront myself on the realities of what I was doing and how it eroded, my life and terrorized my family. And it was, with the help of New Life Ministries, I was able to stop moving, and I was advised to, one of my biggest problems is I never stopped, and I was always at a rate. And
when you mean never stopped, never stopped?
Stopped. I was always on the go, driving.
Right.
On the run. And when an incident, a situation, involving my mom was the last straw.
Okay.
Was the last straw. I just had enough. It was a very difficult life that I lived because I kept putting off the fact that I was, just using drugs, never had money. I made a lot of money.
But never had it.
But it was of no value.
Right.
Because nothing was of value to me. And when this incident happened about 2 years ago, I was confronted by my family members, at which point, I couldn't continue anymore.
Right. And that is when you choose to go into treatment?
Yeah, I choose to shut it down.
Right.
I threw in the towel.
So that was the first time you ended treatment?
No, actually, 20 years ago, I was at New Life Ministries.
Right.
And I totally missed the boat at that time.
What do you mean miss the boat?
I went through the full workshops
right.
of drug addiction, AA and so on.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get out of my own way. I was so full of myself.
Okay.
I was advised by the clinical psychologist at that time, that,
So you were in the rehab, but you were not in a rehabilitated state of mind.
yeah, no, I was not. The place where I was in my life at that time,
Yeah.
it just didn't catch on.
Right.
Now I'm at a different place in my life.
Right.
I've seen a lot. I've taken a lot of pressure.
Right.
I've contemplated living the life of not having, always running, and not understanding why.
Right.
And so 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to contemplate for a long time. How could this be, and so when I shut it down, fortunately, I had the support of my brothers and sisters.
Right.
And they insisted, and I was open.
Right.
I was open to taking their advice and their help.
So when you entered treatment the first time, how long it took you before you relapsed and went back and used drugs again?
The first day I left the rehab, I relapsed.
Wow, the first day?
The first day, yeah.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. I became so disillusioned with the whole effort
Yeah.
that I never looked back.
Right.
I thought it was a waste of time,
And you went back and you started using again?
oh yeah, I just went down the road. But I was a different kind of user. I was a little more clever,
So you thought?
Yeah, I thought I was clever,
Yeah.
but I was fooling myself. Everyone else
Right.
knew the futility of my life except me.
Right.
I had my own things going on, my own disordered thinking going on in my mind.
Right.
And I thought that it would come about